we are going to focus on 4 great masters, and this painting is in your slide exam. Very important. And I'm going to explain a little bit more later on. And also look at this painting. Does this look like Chinese ink painting that you studied so far? It looks really realistic, right? So this is painted by an Italian painter. His name is Giuseppe Castiglione, and he was living in Beijing at the time. He was part of these Jesuit missionaries living in China, and Emperor Kangxi really liked his talent. So because he has a training as a painter in Italy, when he came, he learned Chinese material, and he applied European illusionism to Chinese style landscape. That's why these horses and landscape look pretty realistic. So Yuan Dynasty, eventually collapsed in 1368. In the south, this map shows the Ming Empire's territory, but the rebellions by farmers started in the south. And Zhu Yuanzhang is the name of Zhu Yuanzhang. Zhu is the family, is the founder of Ming Dynasty, and he made Nanjing as the capital. And then we are going to see his images shortly. And then Ming was very proud, like it's a Han ethnic group, it's a unified country, and they exercised authority in the entire East Asian region. And his name is Taichu, meaning first emperor, and then his reign was called Hongwu. So let's see. He looks like this. It's a later portraiture of him, but what do you think? Little ugly man, right? He probably suffered from smallpox as a child. That's why you have these marks. Emperor Taichu's detractors, meaning enemies, described him as ugly, pockmarked. And then he had this, peculiar jaw area. But he was a smart man. And then he had a consolidation of power. So how hard he was working, he said. I want you to listen this. In the morning, I punish a few people. By evening, others commit the same crime. I punish these new people in the beginning, in the evening, and by next morning, again, there are violations, so endless crimes. Although the corpses of the first have not moved, already others follow in their path. The harsher the punishment is, the more the violation. Day and night, I cannot rest. This is a situation which cannot be helped. If I enact lenient punishments, these persons will engage in still more evil practices. Then how could the people outside the government lead peaceful lives? What a difficult situation this is. If I punish these persons, if I am regarded as a tyrant, so this is how we describe in textbook. If I am lenient toward them, the law becomes ineffective, order deteriorates, and people deem me as an incapable ruler. So he said this, but in a way he justifies strong punishment. So a lot of people compare the Ming Taichung compare him to the Qin Shi Huangdi, the first emperor of Qin. So this is Nanjing, the first capital. It's in the south. And then they moved to Beijing. So this is the third emperor of Ming Dynasty. This is a typical robe of the Ming Dynasty emperors. So this is different from the dragon robe that you are going to see in the Ming Dynasty, in the Qing Dynasty. Yongle emperor wanted to free the court from the wealthy and dynamic regions of the country in order to reinforce the autocratic side of the regime. So they always wanted to have a strong government. So that's why they moved the capital to Beijing. And China was an international country, although they were not very interested in other countries. So an emperor sent his administrator named Zheng He. He even went to Africa. How do we know? There is a historical record, but we also have this painting by Shen Du. When Zheng He came back by the sea route, by traveling in the ocean, he brought this giraffe back. So giraffe was an interesting animal. So how did China maintain foreign relationship? China exported mainly silk and porcelain, and then China imported mostly silver from Peruvian and Mexican mines, like South America, via Manila in the Philippines. And also the Ming Dynasty, they start to see the Jesuit missionaries coming in. Mateo Rich, he was an important person, and I think that is not 1610, a bit later, like the 1650s, much later. But Matteo Ricci is Italian Jesuit. He introduced astronomy, calendar making, mathematics, hydraulics, other technology from the West. So China saw advantage, but they were not actively seeking foreign relationship in West Asia or further in Europe. So Great Wall was refurbished. So what you are seeing these days as a tourist to China, this is the Ming Dynasty's refurbished Great Wall north of Beijing. And then so Chinese porcelain makers were busy trading these white porcelain. They are purely white. Chinese porcelain makers were creating mainly Buddhist deities because that's what they are familiar with. European merchants coming to Guangzhou and Macau and the Philippines, they considered these as a sort of images of fairies, or sometimes they considered Guanyin with a boy as a virgin and child. So they collected a lot of them and sold it to European markets. And this is the Ming Dynasty, Beijing. So it's a single axis. And this is the Forbidden City inside Beijing. So you have a bigger wall. And if you go in, there is Imperial City, and then even further in, you have a Palace City, and it has this single row access, and this is the canal that they created, like a man-made artificial canal, and then also this city itself is protected by the water. And this is a popular tourist destination for most of the people. And this is the center of offices, governmental offices. So usually you see pictures outside the Meridian Gate. This is the canal that you've seen right here. And then, according to legend, the Forbidden City has 9,999 rooms. But if you really count, they say it's only 8,886 rooms. But 9 is considered a auspicious number. Jiu, like a number Jiu, is also implying it's the same pronunciation for longevity Jiu as well. They also made the guardian figures here. So these are just some of the maps. And you can read more about it. And the roof tile is in gold. The same color for emperor's robe, gold color. And then there are tombs. Park. This is for the founder of the Ming Dynasty, Zhu Yuanzhang. It's in Nanjing. He died in Nanjing and buried in Nanjing. So when they made Beijing as official capital, they reconstructed Temple of Heaven. We've seen this from even Shang Dynasty. the sky is symbolized by the circle, and then the earth is symbolized by square or rectangle. So inside this garden, you have a series of temples. That is temple to the heaven. It's a indoor, and then outdoor. So Temple of Heaven complex, you can visit it, and then you can tour it. So one is Temple of Heaven, and then the other is Hall for Prayer for a Prosperous Year. And if you go in, it's a concentric, like a dome style ceiling structure, the top. It's not for the meeting. This is mostly to house a ritual altars like this, and then ritual plaques, like the name of the gods. And then emperor and a few people come in to celebrate rituals. So you can read more about it. So this type of thing is called caisson ceiling. And then dragon well pillars, like here, dragon well pillars. 1, 2, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Why 12? Yeah, 12 months. Or like a zodiac, 12 zodiac.